What is up, guys? We are back with another Evershire gaming video, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at Dokkaebi and how to use her effectively in Rainbow Six Siege. Dokkaebi is an attacker, and her main ability allows her to call all the defenders' phones, which they have to then disable if they want the buzzing to stop. This buzzing allows you to identify their location and then effectively pick them off because you know where they are. So with Dokkaebi, what you're not going to want to do is be a kind of rushing character. You're going to want to stay back and stay close to your teammates, as your ability is most effective with your teammates, as you can all then flush the enemy team out. Another thing that you're not going to want to do is use your ability at the beginning of the match. You're going to want to save it towards the end of the match, while you like once you get close to the objective and you are just waiting to push in. You kind of know where the enemies are, but not exactly, so you're going to want to then pop your ability, hack their phones. You'll have a good idea of where they are, just pre-fire kind of where they are, and then it'll be a lot easier to take them out. It's not an effective weapon, or it's not an effective ability if you use it at the beginning, as it is pretty much pointless. It can help in some situations with finding roamers, but I really would recommend it for kind of flushing enemies out on the actual objective. Another thing that you're not going to want to do is push in to hack the enemy's phone. You'll see phones on the ground when the enemy dies. You're going to only want to hack those phones once you know you are safe. You're not just going to want to push in if you see a phone and then try to hack it because you think it'll help your team. It won't. It's not super useful, and only use it when you know you are safe. So another thing is your drone is really useful, as you can throw your drone down before you use your actual call ability to get a general idea of where everyone is. So say you don't see many people on the objective, then you might not want to use your ability then, as there might just be like a couple roamers left. They might not be on the objective, and it might be kind of a useless time to actually call in the call the defenders' phones. So yeah, with Dokkaebi, you're going to want to only stay with your teammates. Do not roam around alone, as your ability is much more effective when you use it close to your teammates, as then they can also hear the buzzing and they can also try to pre-fire the enemy, and it'll be a lot more effective at actually killing the enemy, as you have more people shooting and it's just a lot easier. And then the defenders also have to disable their phones, so they won't be prepared and they might not even be able to shoot you. So it is definitely a lot more effective to use your ability with your teammates around you. I see a lot of Dokkaebis just running around kind of alone or with one other person. Just really try to stay as a group. Try to tell your team that it'll be a lot more useful if they're kind of grouped up. Generally, you don't have to be like right on top of each other, obviously, but just in the same general vicinity, and then only use your ability once everyone is ready to push into the objective and you have a general idea of where the enemies are. Dokkaebi is a super effective character. Her ability is really good, as you have to stop for like 3 seconds to disable a phone that buzzes and gives away your location. So you basically are out of a gunfight for a short amount of time, or if you decide not to, then the enemies will literally know exactly where you are. So her ability is super effective in that sense. And then the cameras can also be useful to find maybe roamers. It can help in that, but it's not, the camera ability is not obviously the main ability, so it's not super effective. But now we're going to be talking about her weapons a little bit and which ones to use. So I personally feel that the semi-auto is super, it's a very, very hard hitting gun. And the shotgun might seem kind of appealing at first, but really you don't want to use shotguns when you're attacking. The semi-auto rifle with the 4x is a really, really effective gun. It allows you to be super accurate, and you can get very, very quick kills as it can fire very rapidly. And then I recommend this kind of submachine gun, the SMG-12. It has a lot of recoil, but at close range it does very well, where this doesn't do as well at close range. So you can pull this out and kind of spray the enemy at a very close distance, but anything far, even this, you can see the recoil is insane. And after holding it down for a second, even here, it just sprays everywhere. And it's pretty difficult to control, whereas with the semi-auto rifle, it is very, very easy to control, it's very accurate, and the two make a great pair. They're super good guns when you use them together. As the SMG, super good for kind of pushing in and then getting that quick kill, whereas the MK14, I should say, is very good at long range and kind of getting those quick pre-fire headshots off. Very good for that. I would say it's kind of similar to Blackbeard's gun. They're both pretty good and very hard-hitting weapons. Yeah, I would recommend to use the 4x on this, as it allows you to be even more accurate with the kind of low amount of recoil, and the 4x is a super, super good combination. And then with this, just whichever sight you want. I personally like this triangle, as it allows me to aim, I feel, more accurately. It doesn't really matter with this gun because of the very high amount of recoil, but I just personally like the triangle the most. And then I use the Claymore as, I don't know, I've always really liked the Claymore. I feel like it's a very effective tool to kind of block off a doorway, as you can place it kind of far away out of the enemy's sight, and then it can block, and if they want to destroy it, they have to expose themselves and actually destroy it, or they might not see it, just run through and die. It's a very effective tool, so definitely recommend that. And another thing is you get 2 calls. So sometimes it's a good idea to use one call closer to the beginning when you're looking for, say, a roamer and you kind of have a general idea of where they are. It's really good for flushing out roamers. And then also, as I said, using it once you are actually on the objective. But now we're going to be going into my actual kind of setup for her, everything that I have kind of in more detail. So here is Dokkaebi on the attacker side. For my loadout, as I've said, I have the MK14, not the BOSG-12. The MK14 is very, very powerful and shoots relatively quickly. So I like to use the SMG over the CZ75. This is kind of personal preference, or it is personal preference, as they are both fast-firing guns. I just prefer the machine pistol over the the SMG-12 over the CZ75 auto. CZ75 is also very fast firing, and it has a little bit more damage, but I still prefer the SMG-12 over the CZ75. You can have a smoke grenade, but I really would not recommend that. I would recommend the Claymore. I feel it is a much more effective tool and is a lot better. So yeah, that is really it for Dokkaebi. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope it helps you play Dokkaebi better and just do better in Rainbow Six Siege and rank up your character. If you want to see more kind of setup videos and guides on Rainbow Six Siege characters, then make sure to subscribe and like the video, and tell me in the comments which characters you would like to see next. So yeah, that is it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next Evershire Gaming video.